Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinex.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. I'm all right, I hope. I heard you earlier saying that you feel like you're wearing a costume. Oh, you look great.
You go straight to the subject.
All right, well, good morning.
Is too much.
No, but I mean, too dapper. There's no way I'm not going to compliment that.
Too dapper.
Whoever the stylist is, great job.
Yes.
We shall begin once ringing. Yeah, sure. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United Kingdom, Prime Minister Boris Johnson on Tuesday categorically denied that he was warned a drinks party at his number 10 garden risked breaking lockdown rules. However, former Downing Street Chief of Staff Dominic Cummings admitted that he warned the Prime Minister at the time and has accused him of misleading MPs. In the United Arab Emirates, a 555.5 carat black diamond that is truly from out of this world has been unveiled by auction house Sotheby's Dubai. The red gem, which is dubbed the Enigma, is believed to have come from outer space and was either created from a meteoric impact or from a diamond-bearing asteroid that collided with Earth. The diamond is expected to sell as much as $6.8 million when it goes under the hammer in February in London. Other sports. The Black Stars of Ghana crashed out of the Africa Cup of Nations on Tuesday following a 3-2 loss to Comoros after securing only 1 point at the end of the group matches at the ongoing tournament. It is the first time in history that the Black Stars have failed to win at least one group stage match, having made 22 past visits to the finals. Under entertainment, Abba Tijani, the Director General at the National Commission for Museums and Monuments on Tuesday, announced that Nigeria will receive no fewer than 1,030 Benin artifacts from Germany in 2022. The artifacts, which were taken from the country during the punitive expedition of Benin in 1897, when received, according to the Director General, will give the Commission an opportunity to build new museums and will attract more tourists from across the world. Finally, Vogue's former creative director and one-time editor-at-large, Andre Leon Talley, passed away on Tuesday at a hospital in White Plains, New York. Talley was instrumental to Vogue's vision and direction in the 80s and 90s. He worked side by side with Anna Wintour, Vogue's editor-in-chief, for decades and was considered one of the first mainstream African-American tastemakers in the United States. A true fashion icon, he was 73 years old. Oh, may his soul rest in peace. Let's begin what's trending in Alberta, Canada, where the Justice Minister and Solicitor General, Kaycee Madu, has been asked to step back from ministerial duties pending the completion of an investigation over a traffic offence ticket. Jason Kenney, Premier of Alberta, made the announcement via Twitter on Tuesday. Madu, who was appointed a Justice Minister in August 2020, was pulled over on March 10th. 2021 and fined $300 for allegedly flouting the country's traffic and safety regulations. He was said to have been on his phone in the school zone, but the minister denied being on his phone, alleging that he was a victim of racial profiling. He subsequently called Dale McFay, a county police chief, to discuss the ticket with him, but was accused of asking the police chief to rescind the ticket fine, an accusation the police chief has denied. Well, according to court documents, Madu paid the ticket fine of $300 2 days after it was issued. I mean, the only thing I can see here is racial profiling. Again, I don't see any reason why this is even an investigation. If the police chief has said that Kaycee Madu did not call to order that ticket to be rescinded, he has already even paid the fine. What was the need for that? What's the need for this?
Madness everywhere.
I'm actually outraged by this.
Because, and on the other side to the story is that he even paid the fine before making the call, apparently. And this man, the police chief, has said that was never discussed. The whole idea was another minister had been the target of unlawful surveillance.
Yes.
And this is what he was calling to discuss. So I think that's also unlawful surveillance. That's within the ambit of his responsibility in the Justice Department, surely. So it's not even a random call that should never have happened. It was perfectly natural for that call to have happened. But beyond him being asked to step back, pending the investigation, there's some even calling for him to resign.
Well, I don't understand.
There should be no investigation. He should lose his job. Over what? He paid the fine. The police chief verified his story in totality. So I do think that the point that he made about racial profiling, they're actually proving his point perfectly.
Correct.
It's really disgraceful.
Very
I don't even
disturbing.
see, you're right, I don't see why he's even been investigated, because it's pretty open and shut. His story has been corroborated, so why?
And that is a police chief, Rufai.
I mean, it just goes a long way to show you that no matter how much we do Black Lives Matter, we do all this protest, racism still lives everywhere. And I'm sad that Alberta has become another bastion of racism. Because when you look at it in the first place, the only reason, and it's always your word against mine when a cop pulls you over, that probably he might have been stopped in the first place when he said he wasn't making a call, and the cop said he was making a call, and there was no evidence to corroborate it was because he was black. Then it has now been split across political lines. People in his party and other parties are saying, we need to get him out. I just think some people are not comfortable with the fact that Kaycee Madu is a rising star in Alberta politics, and it will continue to rise. And for this to happen, I think there should be a strong rebuttal by the black community, because this has no place in the world of today. The question I'd like to ask is, if Kaycee Madu was a white, middle-aged male, will this be his lot?
It wouldn't even be a topic of discussion.
And this goes
That's how
for
I
the
see
so
it.
much,
Sorry.
oh, Canada, a Rainbow Nation appellation, you know, how Canada is all, you know, integrating and encompassing. People from other parts of the world can come to Canada. It just shows that a lot still needs to be done as regards race relation. And I want those, you know, around there in his party to support him.
Absolutely.
To take it on.
We're rooting for him. Dr. Abati?
Well, we do not know all the relevant facts. We only have the statements that have been made.
And court
but
documents.
I think that what is important is that the Alberta chief, the premier in Alberta, has said he's going to appoint a respected investigator to look at all the relevant facts in the case. And we can only hope that the administration in Alberta will do what is right and respect the rights of Kaycee Madu. That point needs to be made. Now, the opposition party, the leader of the opposition party in Alberta is saying that yes, he was pulled over. He denied using the phone because he insisted that the phone was in his pocket, that he never used any phone while driving. And it was on the basis of that that he said this was a case of racial profiling. So he said the phone was in his pocket. But in spite of that, he still paid the 300 Canadian dollars, which was the fine. But he placed a call to Chief McAfee, that's the head of the police in Alberta. So the opposition party is saying he should not have called the police chief. He should not even have brought up the matter. That's their own bone of contention. Okay, well, I think it's a matter of contest. And we keep learning every day. We hope that the right thing will be done in this particular case. If Kaycee Madu, as an Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, were in Nigeria perhaps, he wouldn't even be driving himself. He would be in a convoy, you know, with security people serenading him on all fronts. But in other places, different things happen. Nobody is placed above the law in other jurisdictions. You recall that in 2019 in the UK, we had a case of Fiona Onosoya, you know, MP representing Peterborough, you know, and it was an issue about the brother and she lying, and it was also a traffic offense. What we see in other parts of the world is that public officials are kept to higher standards. But we hope that the investigation that has been ordered by the head of the government in Alberta will establish the truth, and that the allegation by Kaycee Madu that this is a case of racial profiling and that it is also linked to a particular matter that he has been handling, that, you know, that will not be established as a case, because that would be most unfortunate indeed in a country where there is an increasing commitment to diversity.
Yes, and he has always been fighting for racial equality, and this is what he's been known for. And imagine this is happening to him. Well, we'll take another story. The resumed trial of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, on Tuesday was met with apprehension as the federal government on Monday filed a fresh charge bordering on terrorism against the Ipob leader. Lead counsel to Kanu, Mike Ozekhome, objected to his client taking a plea on the amended charge and asked the court for an adjournment. The trial was rescheduled for today, Wednesday, January 19th. The Ipob leader arrived at the proceeding in the same Fendi outfit he wore when he was rearraigned in October 2021. His lead counsel complained that his client is still being subjected to poor treatment in DSS custody and is still being kept in solitary confinement. The judge, Binta Nyako, again ordered the Department of State Services to allow Kanu a change of clothing. Previously, she had directed the DSS to allow the Ipob leader to have a bath, change his clothes, eat properly, and practice his faith. I mean, I cannot believe that we are still talking about Nnamdi Kanu's Fendi outfit at this point, and he's still wearing it. It is really, really appalling that the law does not take its course here. The DSS has been ordered to make sure that he has all of those things, change of clothes, a proper bath, practices faith, and we are hearing this all over again, that his rights are being violated, trampled upon.
Well, I can believe it.
Yes.
Because my family and I experienced it. My father was in solitary confinement for 4 years where he died. So I can believe it. The facts are completely different. They cannot even be compared. But to the extent that I understand what that man is going through where he is and what his family is going through, I fully understand it. The facts of the matter is, as you've highlighted, it has happened. We've seen it with El Zazaki's case. Whatever you think of the Shiite movement, whether they block you when you're trying to get to work in Abuja when they're having their processions, human beings should not be treated like animals in this fashion, not in a democracy. Not a democracy that people died for. No. He cannot continue to show up in the same outfit. It goes to show the level of neglect that this man has been put through. No matter what he's accused of. Some people find his methods, his character, whatever, extremely distasteful. That is hardly the point. The point is that you have human rights. You don't have good person or nice person rights. As long as you are human, you have certain inalienable rights. And the judge is within her rights to determine how somebody can appear in her court. If she says he needs to be better taken care of, he ought to be. But this is the thing, like you rightly said, Oji, this has come up before, and the DSS did nothing.
They did nothing.
Being there, done that, got the T-shirt. I feel for his family in all of this.
Really, really, really sad situation. Dr. Abati, your analysis on this?
Well, I have a slightly different view. Certainly, the judge was speaking obita. Obita is when you express a personal opinion that has nothing to do with the substance of the case. But in this particular case, what you can take away is that she's asking for better welfare for the accused person, and for the accused person to be allowed his rights, because a person before the court is not a convict, right? The person has a case to answer, and if you have a case to answer, you are entitled to all your rights. You've not been convicted. So at the level of a principle of stating the basic jurisprudence in that regard, our lordship is quite correct. But at the same time, you can't force an accused person the kind of clothes he or she wants to wear to court, right? So it's up to the accused person to determine the mode of his appearance.
But his lead counsel is alleging that they are not allowing him change of clothes. It's not like he's choosing to wear the outfit.
Did they plead that before the court?
Yes, that's what they said yesterday.
Yeah, was that an issue before the court?
Yes.
That's the substance of it.
They had done that before.
Should the persons detaining him, should they have right to determine the kind of clothes that he wears? They certainly don't have that right. What Ozekhome said is that what happens is that even when other detained persons greet him, they are also immediately put in solitary confinement.
It's not the first time we're hearing it.
So that is
what they said
that is absolutely not right.
Yes.
So we're dealing with an aberration if that is the case. But he has the right to wear what he wants. He has the right to determine, what he does with his appearance. But we just hope that on all fronts there will be fair trial. And that justice will be done. And that nobody, whether they are DSS or other agencies of government, would do anything under the law to deny him his basic rights
Yes.
as a human being.
Yes.
Because a person, the jurisprudence of it says, you are innocent until proven guilty. And if you have not been proven guilty, you deserve every decent treatment as a human being.
Yes.
If that is the point that our Lordship was making, yes, she's right in that regard.
The issue of fair hearing is in the front burner. If you recall, on Monday, they did file that new terrorism charge against him. And Michael Ozekhome was saying that, why would you file a charge a day before he was supposed to be rearraigned? And, you know, like Tundu said the last time, it seems like almost like an ambush.
It has to be said.
Yeah.
He's got rights. Let's respect the rights. Let's not violate the rights. I like the way the Americans put it. At the start of their constitution, they said, we hold these truths to be self-evident. Do we ever hold those truths to be self-evident that people have rights in Nigeria? No. If we do, police will not harass people and shoot them and call it accidental discharge and nothing will happen. DSS shouldn't treat him this way. If we hold those truths to be self-evident, he's got rights. Let the law take its course.
Yeah.
I always say that in this. And this trial must be seen as totally very, very fair.
Yeah.
Because it has political implications and ramifications for this country.
Right.
And we need to understand that.
Right. Well,
Okay,
all right.
thank you very much, Ojinika.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Roger.
guys. No
Truly.
worries.
Thank
Tundu,
you
I'll see you
so
after
much.
the show. All right, well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you tomorrow.